fellow South Africans. Today we launch the Fair Pay Bill, which seeks to promote equal opportunity and end discrimination. We're living in a country where if you are 25 and between 25 and 35, invariably your chances of getting a job are 1 in 2. If you are between the ages of 18 to 35, your chances of getting a job become even less. The harsh reality of our country is that we have a sea of unemployment and very limited work opportunities. It's made harder by the fact that the majority of the people job seeking, many of them are unemployable in certain instances in that they don't have a matric, but there's a significant proportion of the same group who often are graduates, who are often first-time job seekers, who many of them are lingering in our townships seeking work opportunities. These are conditions that lead themselves towards a high degree of exploitation. Because as people become desperately seeking work, they find themselves in spaces that they are not the principal negotiators when it comes to a job interview, or being able to say to themselves what represents a fair pay. And therefore, on the 16th of June, as Build One South Africa, we want to put a spotlight on a significant but little discussed injustice facing our youth and previously disadvantaged communities, which is that of unequal and unfair pay. Every year, thousands of graduates and job seekers enter the labor market that often operates in an unfair manner against them. Despite often being qualified, capable, and willing to work, young people in particular become trapped in cycles of underpayment with little power to negotiate fair wages or challenge opaque hiring practices. The odds are often stacked in favor of the employer, those who hold power, to be able to determine what the salary of the young person or the applicant was, often based on a candidate's previous pay or lower pay than the individual is entitled to. This imbalance perpetuates historical inequalities. Young people who are the first in their families to work white-collar jobs, black professionals, and women often start their careers earning less. This is invariably never a competence issue, but rather it is due to a system that allows employers to exploit previous underpayment and first-time job applicants. When your salary history is used against you, past disadvantage becomes future injustice. This is both an economic issue, but as crucial, is equally a moral issue. It is an issue of justice, as the arc of history points towards. It goes towards the very heart of our constitution that seeks to address historical injustices and speaks of the values that are enshrined in our constitution in section 9 and 10 of our constitution's Bill of Rights, those being dignity and equality. And therefore today as Build One South Africa, when you go into politics, you have to answer a basic question: on whose behalf do you fight and against who? And for us, that basic question is we fight for South Africans who are left out or unfairly treated against those who abuse power. Whether those who abuse power are elected officials or are businesses that find themselves in powerful positions, we have to stand on behalf of South Africans to be able to make that journey. And so this bill today seeks to address that injustice, and Ubuntu will be able to take you through the very elements of all that bill, and beginning with young people who have lived through some of this experience, and they can tell you better themselves what it feels like to enter the job market. I remember my first interview fondly as I went bright-eyed seeking for a job, but not knowing what sits on the other side. And so if someone said to me, look, Mmusi, it doesn't matter what qualifications you have, this is how much you will earn, I had none the wiser the power to be able to stand up and go, actually, this is what I think the job is worth, let alone what I'm worth, because my worth cannot be determined by my salary. But if the job is worth X, I should be remunerated X, regardless of where my historical pay space was, or effectively what the employer seeks to determine my value to be. And I think this is a journey towards codifying that in law, that abuse never occurs, given the fact that our history is a history fraught with such profound injustice.